Hey up troops, welcome back to the Litanah Army. I'm Lit and this is more Deep Rock Galactic, and today we're going to have a look at this guy who is the gunner. This one's actually my gunner who I use in the actual game. It just looks absolutely awesome. I mean, there's loads of customizations in this game that make it great, but where does the gunner actually fit into the team? Let's check it out. Okay, so where does the gunner fit into the team then? Well, that's the thing with the gunner. The great thing about him is he does fit into teams absolutely brilliantly. He's probably the least favourite to play, or the least favoured to play as solo, just because his utility is more a group thing rather than something to play with on your own. But the great thing about him is he's got the zipline gun, and the zipline gun can be really great if you get in regular supply drops, because you can actually set up quite a good network of ziplines from point A to point B, which means missions can sometimes be done really quickly thanks to this guy's utility. He also comes with a lead storm powered minigun. He's also got the BULLDOG revolver, and he has a shield generator as well. Now the shield generator kind of works as his grenade. He throws that down, it puts a dome up around you, and it means the rest of the group can get inside and you can be protected against things like spitters, or you can get protected against a lot of things that are coming in that would usually do damage to you, which makes him really good. Now, as the gunner, you're supposed to be the firepower of the team, and that's something that you can definitely tell when you're using this guy, because although the guns are quite slow to power up sometimes, or like the pistol, it can sometimes lack a bit of ammo or ammo capacity, what you will find is that the gunner can take down targets incredibly fast if he focuses his fire and can maintain a constant spray of bullets at that target. So if you can use good sustain onto that target, you will find that this class really shines. So the main things that for me stand out with him is the big guns and heavy sustain. You know, he's got high velocity firepower. The zip lines are great for groups. You'll find his shield grenade is absolutely fantastic when you're trying to hold a point. And the pistol, if you need to fire up quickly, or you need to take out, you know, just thin out some targets that have jumped you or got the hop on you really quick, then the pistol can be really good for getting out of that. But let's have a quick look at some of the builds that I'm running at the minute with the gunner. Okay then, so let's have a look at what the gunner actually brings to the table. Now the first gun that you'll start with is this one, the lead storm powered minigun, which is absolutely awesome. It absolutely shreds. It takes a little bit of time to build up, which is the only downside to it. You have to wait for the actual minigun drum to start spinning up, and then it starts to fire, but when it does, it just rains death upon whatever's around it. Now, the build that I've gone for here, I've got the improved motor, so that increased rate of fire and faster gyro stabilization really helps. I've got the oversized drum, because just more ammo. You're firing a gun like this, you're going to need a lot of it. The max ammo on there, you can see, is 3,000, so it's got a lot of bullets in it, but still, you know, you can always be doing with more. This one, the blow-through rounds are great, so shaped bullets capable of passing through a target, which means if you get into a swarm or you're taking out a swarm at distance, it absolutely shreds. It's really great for the missions at the end where you're getting swarmed and you're having to hold a point, and it can just clear walls and things like that, which is absolutely awesome. And then I go for this one. I've only just put this one on, the variable chamber pressure, so damage increased when fully stabilized. Because this gun takes a while to stabilize, takes a while to actually, you know, drum up and get going, this is just a really good skill that I've found. I mean, there are other builds on there that you can find Reddit. This isn't the definitive build or the best build perhaps, but it's one that just works for me. I'm just kind of playing this by ear at the minute and seeing what works for me. Now, it's got a 30% stun chance on there, which is great. Stun duration's only 1, but you know, it just kind of helps. It can slow a swarm down if it's coming at you. The max ammo on there is 3,000. The cooling rate is 1.5, but it doesn't start off as that. I think the cooldown starts at 3. So it can actually take a while to cool down if you get it jammed. The fire rate is 34, so 3,400, but I think the typical fire rate when you start is only 1,800, I believe. I'll double check that for you and put that in the comments, so just keep a lookout in the description for that. Spin up time 0.7. Now that doesn't seem long, but again, when you're getting swarmed or something happens fast, it's really quick, and you find yourself quickly switching over to the pistol just to take out them enemies that are up close and in your face. Unless there are a ton of them, in which case you will probably die. What you've also got on there is the Thunderhead heavy autocannon. This is the other gun that you unlock a little bit later on, and this one's great. You don't suffer from the slow fire up time on this one. It doesn't take time to wind up. This one just starts firing straight away, but it starts firing pretty slowly, and then it like builds up to that, and it builds up, and it gets faster and faster and more intense. So the longer you fire with this one, the more effective it's going to be. Now with this one, I've gone for increased caliber rounds. The overall damage on the weapon is increased because I just think, you know, I'm a gunner. That's kind of what my job is here. And then we've got the improved gas system. So on here, it just says we overclocked your gun. It fires faster. Don't ask. Just enjoy, and probably don't tell management, please. But this one's really good as well. The overclocking on it, making it shoot faster, is just an absolute joy, and it's great when you use it in the caves as well. You've got the high velocity rounds, which is the third tier that you've got on there. The overall damage of your weapon is increased. I'll always go damage when I'm using the gunner. And then I've got shrapnel rounds as well, so the greater splash damage radius is great because it actually has a bit of an AoE splash effect when you hit with this. Again, great for taking out swarms. If you're going to be holding a point or there's a choke point, then this is absolutely incredible. Now, if we look on the stats down there that I've got on here so far, you've got the damage on there is 21. I think it starts out at 14. But I've got the increased damage on there, taking it up to 21. The area damage is 9. Again, I think that starts at 8, so I've got that increased. Radius is 2, and I think that starts at 1.2. Magazine size there, 110, which is that's the same as it starts off at. The ammo capacity is 440, and then the reload speed on there is 5. The top rate of fire is 7, so obviously it takes time to fire up, but it fires up pretty quickly given that build, which isn't too bad whatsoever. The other gun that you've got, I talk about switching to the pistol quite often. Now, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this. I love the damage that the BULLDOG Heavy Revolver puts out. It's absolutely great, and if you fire at an enemy, you can definitely see the damage. Even the big enemies, this still does quite a significant amount of damage. The only issue I've got with it is you have to reload it all the time. Even with these perks I've got, maybe there's something we can unlock later on, like, look, expanded ammo bags might change all this, and I'll probably go for Deadeye as well. But the ones I've got on there at the minute, I've got the quick fire ejector, so experience training and a couple of under the table design adjustments mean that your gun can be reloaded significantly faster. Trust me, that is just so needed with this gun. Then I've gone the increased caliber rounds because, you know, more damage, we talked about that earlier. And then the other one I've gone for is the hollow point bullets, because this is great. Hit 'em where it hurts, literally. We've upped the damage so you'll be able to do any creature's fleshy bits, you're welcome. So it's pretty decent, you know, it's overall, it's a powerful gun, and you can definitely tell that. You can definitely feel the power when you fight, you know, when you're using this gun. But I would definitely go for something to do with ammo and reload speed on there, at least one thing on there, just to make it a little bit more tasty and a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more aggressive. The shield generator we talked about on there, I've not really done that up much yet. I've not really, and I've not got the money to do it up just yet on this one, you can see on there. But I've gone for streamlined integrity check, so the generator recharges quicker so I can use it more, and then it lasts longer as well. I'm just trying to make it so that that stays up as much as possible. I'll probably go for improved efficiency as well next. I'm not too sure. As I said, this one's one I've got to build up so far, but the shield generator in use can be, you know, it's saved my life more than once, and it's pretty useful on there as well. The sticky grenades, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's literally a bomb that sticks to the target, good for taking out like large targets, and that's mainly what he's got. I mean, for me so far, you can see there, I'm only ranked 12 with the gunner at the minute, and I use it in quite a lot at the moment because he's the one that I'm ranking up, but he's pretty good. You know, when it comes to actually using these weapons, you know, if you've got something that's better down below, then it'll let me know. The zipline, we'll just quickly show you that before we move on. What I've got on there is expanded ammo bags because, again, it's a utility weapon. Reinforced cable, no choice on that one. And then you've got disconnection protection and increased motor traction. I'll probably go for the increased motor traction, I think. Improved acceleration speed when riding zip lines. Or disconnection protection, so you actually take less damage if you fall off a zip line. Can't decide yet. Let me know in the comments what you'd go for on that. I'd actually love to know that. But that's what he's actually got on there. So let's move on next then to the pros and cons of actually using this gunner. So with the gunner then, damage just reigns supreme. You know, it's really satisfying to use the guns that he's got, which is one of the biggest pros to using him. You know, he's got big guns with great sustain, high velocity firepower, and if you're someone who likes to go at them big targets and really likes to get involved in the actual combat element of this game, then this is definitely the class for you. Another pro that he's got as well is the zip lines that he uses. Just makes him great for groups, and if you're trying to traverse a really tricky map, then it can be really useful, and sometimes as well just as an escape route to get you away from things, or if you think there's going to be a big fight in an area, sometimes having a zip line that you can start moving up and firing down from can be really, really useful. The last thing on there, the big pro with him, is that he's so effective against big targets. If you're going in against a dreadnought, it's always really nice to see a gunner there with you, just because you know that you're going to be taking the target down pretty quickly, and you know that he's going to be able to sustain the fire on there. As long as he can stay in a safe place using his shield, then he's going to be able to actually put heavy sustain onto that target, and you're going to get it down way, way quicker than if you didn't have a gunner there. Some of the negatives on the gunner though, the only two things that I can really see is that he's not the best to solo with, so it's kind of a counterpoint to what we've just said. The main reason being is his zipline can be a little bit slow if you're trying to go solo. You're much better with a scout because you can get through maps much, much faster. But you know, it doesn't make him, it's not intolerable, you know, it's not that you can't do it, it just makes it a little bit slower going solo. And then the last thing on there is his slow start up and accuracy on some of the guns you know, when you're going to have that kind of firepower and that kind of sustain, of course, at some point along the line, in between when I first got the game and now, they've actually nerfed this class pretty heavily in the fact of his guns start up really slowly and the accuracy is not as great as what it could be. Now, you can counter that with some of the perks and skills that you get later on, as we showed, but, you know, I think overall, this class is really good. It's really satisfying to play. He's someone who I think you can spend a lot of time on. You know, I can see why some people love this class. It's not one of the most popular classes in there. I think one of the most popular classes, probably Driller or Engineer. Personally, my favourite's the Scout. But, you know, the Gunner, I can see why this would be someone's favourite. I can see why people would enjoy playing this class, and I can see, you know, the kind of satisfaction you would get from it. But guys, let me know down in the comments down below. Maybe I've missed something in the guide. Maybe there's something that you want to add into it as well. Maybe there's a reason that the gun is so great that I've absolutely missed. I've only just come back to the game, so I'm going to be updating these guides as time goes on. So as I probably get another about 10-15 levels onto this gunner, then we'll probably do another guide on him and have a look at the builds and what we found with that. But I would love to know your experiences and your take on that as well. But guys, massive thanks for watching. If you're not part of the Litanah army already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to drop a like, and obviously, you know, leave a comment. I love reading all your comments too. I read them every single day, so I'd love to see your comments down below as well. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.